Welcome to Fabricadabra Embroidery Edition. Today we're going to be working French and Bullion knots. French knots are one or more singular knots. However, Bullion knots tend to be one or more straight or curved lines. We're going to start with the French knot. So you can see I've already made little dots on my fabric. I'm going to come up through one of them. I'm going to pull my floss all the way through, and then I'm going to lay my hoop down. I'm going to put the tip of my needle close to where I came up, and then I've just wrapped the embroidery thread or floss twice around the tip of the needle. So you couldn't really see it because my hand was in the way. When I do it again, you should be able to see it better. And then you're going to hold one part of the floss down while you pull your needle through, steadily pulling, but not too quickly, pulling your floss through. And then when it gets to make a smaller loop, you pull it all the way through until it's taut so that you've created a nice little knot. And that's it a little bit up close. And so now we're going to start on the second knot. So you want to come up through, and that I didn't really get my my needle through. Okay, there we go. So I'm coming up through my dot. Okay. And then I'm going to lay my hoop flat. So that it frees up both my hands, because you need both hands for this. You're going to put your needle close to where you came up, and then you're going to wrap the floss once, twice around the tip of the needle, and then you're going to push the tip of the needle back down through the hole, or near the hole you came up. Okay, and I think this time it's going to be near. Okay, now this time I'm not holding down the floss. You can sometimes get away with that and still form a nice knot, but I find that I just lucked out this time. A lot of times I've tried this before and I've messed up my knot doing that. So with this one, we're going to do it the right way, which is to come up from the back, pull it through, then lay our hoop down, put the tip of the needle near where you came out, wrap your floss twice around it, and then put your needle back through the same hole you came up, or near it, and then hold one side of the floss down while you pull your needle through until it gets to a small loop, and then you can quickly pull into a knot. Next up, the Bullion knots. So I'm going to come up through the back at the beginning of my line on the left side, and I'm going to pull my needle all the way through. Okay. Then I'm going to take my needle and go down through the opposite end of the line. Okay. And then I'm going to pull it part of the way through, then come back up through that same hole at the beginning of the line. But I'm not going to pull my needle all the way through. So you want to push your needle part of the way through, and then you want to lay your hoop down, grab the left side of your floss, and in a counterclockwise motion, you're going to wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap your needle with the floss. And then you're just going to kind of smush it down a little bit on your needle, and then wrap it a little bit more. And you do this until you get the length of the line that you want. So I've wrapped it a little bit more, and it's probably a little too much, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of smush it down. Okay, and then when you're ready, you've got the right length. You hold tightly to the floss end, and then you're going to carefully pull your needle up through that. And it can be difficult, but don't give up. So here we go. I've pulled, and you're just going to put it all the way through, and at some point it's going to get tight, and then you're going to have to, and I'm so sorry my finger's in the way, but I've pulled it taut up against the fabric. So you can see here, and then I'm just going to tack it down on the end with a little stitch. Okay, and that is a bullion knot. So one more time, hopefully my camera work is a little better. We're going to come up through the beginning of the line. We're going to go down through the end of the line. Oh, I almost messed that one up. Okay, you're going to pull just a little bit, and then you're going to come back up through the beginning of the line. But you're not going to push your needle all the way through the fabric. You're going to lay your hoop down and then wrap the floss counterclockwise around your needle until you get the length of the stitch that you're making. And then you're going to kind of push it down, make sure it's the right length, and then hold where the thread is tightly, and then pull your needle up through that. And it can get messed up sometimes. That's okay. You can always take the floss out of the needle, take all the thread out, and restart. I've had to do that numerous times. Okay, so you're going to pull that tight, and it's just going to lay down flat against the fabric, and then you're going to put a little tack down stitch on the end. Those are 2 bullion knots. And like I said, they can be straight, which is mostly what I've done, or they can be curvy. Thanks for watching, and happy sewing!